5 topics. Each of these guys gets 24 seconds to make their point. We will rate the winner after each of the 5 questions and then determine an overall winner. Topic number 1, we start with Allen. More impressive, Harden streak, 31 straight games with at least 30 points, or Russell Westbrook, 10 straight triple-doubles?
I think 10 straight triple-doubles because it's never been done before. Let's start with that. Number 2 is the fact that you also are relying on teammates in this. You have to get assists, which means guys have to make shots. Understand that part of it too, right? So when you have a triple-double, it's not just you doing all the work. It's not just you performing. It's your teammates being part of it. And also, it leads to winning. And that's the important thing for the Oklahoma City Thunder as well. They are winning, and his production is helping, and we'll get to it, Paul George move into the MVP conversation. This is one of the most impressive things we've seen.
Harden's 30-point streak. I mean, it's phenomenal. He's not getting 30 all night. He's getting 40s, 50s, and 60s at MSG, and he's getting triple-doubles. What he's doing has never been done ever on an NBA basketball floor when you combine all the rebounding and assists and everything that he's doing to help his team win basketball games. This guy is absolutely on fire. Yes, Russell Westbrook's streak is impressive, but with how fast teams are playing, rebounds, assists, easy to get. The points that he's scoring, incredible, and he's winning too. The MVP, all James Harden.
Round number 1 to Wally.
Stop it.
That's right.
Question number 2. Wally starts. Where is Paul George in the MVP race?
He's third, right behind Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant, the way he's been playing, has kept the Golden State Warriors afloat with all the injuries and what they've been going through. Paul George is playing great basketball, but Giannis is the man. He's got the best team in the East right now. He's carrying that team on a nightly basis, not only on the offensive end, also on the defensive end. You got to remember, Paul George does have Russell Westbrook, a top 5 player in the league, and maybe a top 2 or 3 point guard in the league who's a triple-double machine. So Paul George has a good supporting cast. Giannis doesn't have as good a supporting cast, and Kevin Durant has done it through a ton of injuries.
That's funny. You see that little basketball I'm holding in my hand back there?
See that big one I'm holding in my hand?
Extent of your knowledge on this entire topic, because Paul George, what he's been doing over the last, 14 games, averaging 34 a game. That sounds a lot like what James Harden's been doing, right? He's also leading the league in steals, so he's not just relying on other players. He's getting it done as well. They're third in the East. Did anybody expect the Thunder to be anywhere in the top 4?
In the West.
In the West. Did anybody expect them to be anywhere in the top 4 in the West? No. What he's doing is he's doing what they wanted Kevin Durant to do. And Kevin Durant couldn't do it with a guy like Russell Westbrook. Paul George has found a home, and he's found it next to a great player, but he's having a great season and should be MVP.
Despite the conference mix-up, we're going to give it to Allen. Better argument. 1-1. All right, topic 3. We begin with Allen. Bucks, top team in the East or not?
Top team in the East? Well, they're number 1 right now. They're first place. They have 43 points. Here's the other one, 43 wins, 30 of them against East opponents. They are dominating the East right now. No one wants to talk about them because they're not an exciting team, but they have one of the great players. They play as a team. They have no locker room issues at all, which we know the other teams in the East are having that same problem. They are the team to beat in the East. They're going to be very tough because you saw them live. Length, defense, athleticism, they have it all over the place. That wins in the postseason.
Experience wins in the postseason, and the Boston Celtics have experience all up and down that roster, and they were 1 game away from making the finals without Kyrie Irving and without Gordon Hayward. How many points did Gordon Hayward have the other night against Philadelphia? 26. He's getting right. He's getting healthy. He's getting back into his all-star form. Kyrie Irving's going to be fine after this knee injury. Give him a little bit of time to get right, rest up for the playoffs, let those other guys get their confidence, and Brad Stevens is the difference in the playoffs. He knows how to coach teams. He knows how to win.
I got to jump in there. Brad Stevens can't control the locker room right now. All those guys are fighting each other.
Allen wins around. The Celtics are a disaster.
Oh my goodness,
internal mess.
We
got to move on.
Smaller.
You guys have no clue
number 4.
that they don't care about the regular season, and the playoffs are a totally different ball.
And Allen, biggest
buzzer.
biggest surprise. Kings or Pacers?
Kings, absolutely the Kings. This is a team that wasn't even supposed to make the playoffs. The Pacers, if you don't forget, they almost beat the Cavs last year in the first round. They had them down 3-2 going into Game 6, and then the Cavs won 2 games to get back into that series and win it. So they're experienced. They're not surprising anyone by doing what they're doing. They're supposed to make the playoffs. The Kings were one of the worst teams in the West before the season started, have a young roster that has very, very little wins under their belt and experience under their belt. The Kings are shocking people, the fact that they're sniffing the 8th seed in the West.
Where are the Kings right now?
They're in the 9th seed.
They're in the 9th spot,
Yeah.
right? That means they're not in the playoffs right
All
now.
right, they're
They
half
have
a game
to
out.
hold off other teams.
Half a game out.
They have to battle other teams. You
What's
just
the
said
surprise?
experience wins, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have any experience in doing this, so I don't
Experience
know.
wins in the playoffs.
They basically are taking advantage of a team that no one was expecting to be good. The Pacers are doing something without their superstar player. Everybody thought, especially you lose 6, you figure they are going to go in the tank. They lose 4 in a row after the injury to Oladipo, and you thought that team was done. They are out. They're in 3rd now in the East, and they are still competing hard. It's a great job by Nate McMillan and a great job by that group to stay together. So that is a surprise.
Going to Wally because it's been more of a situation for the entire season.
Because he'll get upset if he doesn't get another win.
2-2, it all comes down to this. You ready? Yeah. What are you most excited about for All-Star Weekend?
Oh, man. The trade that's going to happen at halftime. Because LeBron's team is stacked, and that team is going to completely dominate, and there'll be no competition in that game. They will have to make a halftime trade, and that actually be fun.
I'm going Kevin Knox winning the MVP of the World Game against the U.S. I think Kevin Knox, once he gets free of what's going on here with the Knicks and he plays with his peers, he's going to show how talented and how tremendous he is. I'm really excited to see him branch out. I remember when I got the opportunity to play in that rookie-sophomore game, I won the MVP my sophomore season, really helped my confidence. I think it's going to be a big breakout weekend for Kevin Knox and showing what he is as an NBA player and maturing into an NBA star after this weekend. Watch out for Kevin Knox winning the MVP of that game.
You're just saying that because you were MVP.
You know why
once.
Wally wins? Because you used half the shot clock when you had to make your most decisive argument, and you didn't come through with an argument.
I mean, Hahn
you
had
had
a loss
24
for
seconds.
words?
You
What are
wrapped it up in
Hahn had a
12
loss
seconds.
for
You
words.
stopped.
I didn't need it. I was done.
Wally's
See, I
a
gotta
winner.
take all the shots.
And
I gotta make all
you have
the
the
points.
smaller basketball.
That's right. I'm
There's a
holding
reason
his brain
why.
right now in
There's
my
a reason
hand.
why. See?
Wally wins round 1 of one-on-one, and they're still, I think we're all still friends.
It's all fixed.
All right.